The Glories of Chapter 7 of the Bhagavad Gita from the Padma Purana. Lord Shiva said, "My dear Parvati, now I will tell you the glories of the 7th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, hearing which one feels his ears have been filled with divine nectar." Pataliputra is the name of one large town which has many large gates. In that town lived a Brahmana of the name Shanku Karna. He had taken to the occupation of a businessman and had amassed a very large wealth. But he had never performed any type of devotional activities, nor had he performed the necessary ritualistic performances for the sake of his forefathers. He became very rich, so much that even great kings would dine at his house. Shanku Karna was also the most miserly of persons, and he kept his wealth buried under the ground. Once, when that Brahmana was going along with his children and other relatives for the purpose of his 4th marriage, they stopped at one place to rest for the night. While he was sleeping, a snake came and bit him. When his sons and relatives realized that a snake had bit him, they called for the doctors and mantra chanters, but no one was able to help Shanku Karna, and shortly he died. After that, he attained the body of a preta sarp, a snake ghost. The only thing he was able to think about was his wealth, which was buried close to the house where he had lived. He had not even informed his own family of the whereabouts of his wealth. Even in the form of a preta sarp, he resided at the place where his wealth was buried, so that no one else could take that wealth. After some time, he became tired of being trapped in the form of a preta sarp, and he appeared in dreams to his sons and requested them to help him. In the morning, when his lazy sons woke up, they told each other about the dream they had seen. One of his sons took a large digging instrument in his hand and went to the place the father had indicated that he was living. When he reached that place, he realized that he was not aware of the exact spot where the wealth was buried. The son was exceptionally greedy, and he searched for a long time until he came across a snake hole, which he promptly started to dig out. Shortly, a very large and fearful-looking snake came out of the hole and spoke the following: "O fool, who are you? Why have you come here? Who has sent you? And why are you digging at this place? Reply to my questions at once." The son replied, "I am your son. My name is Shiva. In a dream last night, I saw that there were hidden treasures buried at this place, and I came to take them." When he heard Shiva speaking that way, the preta sarp started to laugh and said, "If you are my son, then why are you not performing the necessary rituals to free me from this hellish situation? Due to greed in my last life, I attained this body, and now you are heading the same way." The son inquired, "My dear father, kindly tell me how you can be freed from this hellish situation." The preta sarp said, "Not by any kind of charity, tapasya or yagna. Only by reciting the 7th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita will I be able to become free from the wheel of birth and death. My dear son, kindly perform the Shraddha ceremony, and on that day invite a Brahmana who is in the habit of chanting 7th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, and feed him very sumptuously." Thereafter, Shiva, along with his other brother, fulfilled the instructions of their father, and while the Brahmana was chanting the 7th chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Shanku Karna gave up that frightful body of a preta sarpa and attained a divine 4-armed body. At that time, he blessed his sons and informed them where his wealth was, and then left for Vaikunta. Those sons whose minds had become fixed in devotion to Lord Krishna, used that wealth for building temples, digging wells and kundas, distributing foodstuff. They all engaged daily in the recitation of 7th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, and very quickly they attained the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. Lord Shiva said, "My dear Parvati, I have told you the wonderful glories of the 7th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. Anyone who hears this description will be freed from all sinful reactions." Thus ends the glories of chapter 7 of the Bhagavad Gita from the Padma Purana.